The biggest shams bomb of the year wasn't Pascal Siakam. It was Mark Cuban selling the Mavericks. Dude was the last owner you would think would do that. People say, oh, well, he bought him for $285 million, sold for billions. Anyone would do that. Yeah, right. The Mavs weren't an investment for him. They were his baby. Remember this?
I'm pretty sure you're turning down $1.4 billion.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm turning down anything, but yeah.
You're turning down anything?
Yeah.
Like, would you turn down $3 billion?
Yeah.
You turned down $3 billion?
Yeah. What do I need $3 billion for?
Oh, so what changed? Well, part of the answer is that Cuban kept a minority stake and still makes basketball decisions. But let's be honest, as soon as the Mavs start losing, dude who paid $3 billion is gonna be like, hey Mark.
I get this is hard, but I'm out.
So if you're like me, you know there's got to be more to this story. Well, it turns out there's Cuban's official reason for selling, then there's what he doesn't want us to know. So let's expose the 3 secret reasons Cuban sold his baby. Well, he sold 70% of the team at a valuation at $3.5 billion, which means he made about $2.45 billion. The new owners are actually 2 families, the Adelsons and the Dumonts. Together, they run the Las Vegas Sands Corporation. Cuban said, financially, the Mavs are in a far better position to be able to compete, which is true. The new owner's net worth is about $33 billion, so they go from the 11th richest team to number 2 behind the Clippers. But with the new CBA, the net worth of your owner doesn't even matter that much. The real reason will make Mark Cuban a lot more money than what he got selling the team. The new owner wants to make gambling legal in Texas. Miriam Adelson shamelessly donated $3 million to Texas politicians because it's a huge market, the 2nd richest state in the US behind California. If Texas was a country, it would be the 9th richest nation in the world. But owning the Dallas Mavericks was a big part of her plan. First, legalize gambling in Texas. Then, build a new Mavs arena inside a resort and casino complex. And because Cuban still owns 27%, he will cash out big time on legalized gambling. The Mavs' current arena lease ends in 2030, so they have about 6 years to make their multi-billion-dollar scheme a reality. Now, I don't actually think that is a shady reason because Cuban admits it, and like millions of Texans already drive out of state to gamble anyway. But the other reasons he sold the team are shocking. First is financial trouble. But why would Mark Cuban have money problems? Because he went heavy into crypto during the pandemic. First, he invested in a crap coin called Titan, promised over 200% returns, and Mark advertised that on his personal blog, so tons of new investors flooded in. Titan jumped from $29 per coin to $65, but 3 days later went to $0. But don't worry, Cuban got out just in time. I got hit like everyone else. Crazy part is I got out. Thought they were increasing their TLV enough, then bam! What a coincidence! 3 days after saying they were awesome, Cuban got out? Weird. Now, he later took responsibility and said, oh, sorry, I was too lazy to research. Now, he's not gonna pay anyone back, but he might have to for this next scandal. Cuban promoted a crypto lending platform called Voyager, claimed it was as risk-free as you're gonna get, which is a huge red flag, especially in the crypto space. But listen to how nervously Cuban reads off this sketchy Mavericks promotion.
Fans who download the app, create an account using the promotional code MAVS100, deposit $100 and make a trade, will get $100 in crypto.
You'll never guess what happened next. Months later, Voyager went bankrupt because they were lending to shady individuals, but Cuban knew they were shady. Voyager was being sued for lying about having no fees, and Mark knew about it. And not only did he not tell his fans this while promoting them, he said it was almost risk-free. Now, Cuban is being sued for $5 billion. But if you think that's sketchy, it is nothing compared to his NFT project. Cuban bought the IG handle @NFT in the height of the craze. The page highlighted certain NFT projects, and because Cuban's name was in the bio, it had credibility. What they didn't tell people was it was pay for play. All the posts were ads, but they never disclosed that. CoffeeZilla messaged them about a fake NFT project. All they asked him for was 20 grand at a 5-post minimum, so $100,000. No questions about the actual project. So a guy named Top Shot Fund on Twitter investigated and found 70% of the @NFT projects fell in value and 10% were straight up scams. So the only people who made money here were Mark Cuban and the sketchy NFT creators in most cases. Now Mark says he was not involved in operations, but this was a trend for him around that time. But the third reason he sold is bad for the entire NBA. In the last 18 months, 4 NBA teams have been sold, which is weird. It makes you wonder, what do these billionaires know that we don't? All of them made big profits because team valuations have gone way up. It all started with the $24 billion NBA media rights deal with ESPN and TNT in 2014. Annual revenue per team exploded from $966 million to $2.6 billion a year. So the average team value also went up. $2.3 billion in 2015. $3 billion in 2021, $3.4 billion in 2023. But Cuban might think the NBA bubble is about to burst. The new media rights deal is coming up, but TV ratings are way down. Now I could give like 100 examples of this, but let's keep it simple. This is the average rating for a regular season game starting in 1990. It peaked with Michael Jordan when the last media rights deal was signed, still respectable. Then immediately went in the tank. In fact, this year was an all-time low. The best NBA on ABC game ever was $5.42 million in 2012. The worst was during the pandemic, $2.77 million. Well, this year, there was an ABC game that drew $1.6 million, a new low. ABC has shows that get more views than that. Many of them get canceled. So why would this next NBA media rights deal be a good thing for the league? Cuban even admitted this days before he sold the team.
People forget, like, when you guys were in, the cap was like flat.
Yeah.
Right?
Solid.
It was just like 40 million to 50 million from 2000 when I bought the team. And there were years where it was down. And then in 2010, remember, New Orleans, no one would buy it. The league had to take it over. And so I'm not saying it's going to be like that, but the point is, it's not automatic that everything always gets better.
Yeah, just look at the top 100 TV shows of 2023. Let's see how many of them are basketball. Oh wait, none of them. Cuban knows that's not good. Now I do think this next media deal might be decent because Adam Silver just got a big extension from the owners, but this golden era of NBA revenue is about to end, so a ton of billionaire owners are getting out. Now diehard fans like us don't really care about ratings that much. We just want to know, who's the next superstar to get traded? Well, Trae Young might actually be the next guy because he is openly flirting with Victor Wembanyama.